Hello, my name is Ethan Gosma, and I should buy longer pants.
Hello, I'm William Green.
Alright.
Adderall is an amphetamine salt, which means that it's just a mix of two different kinds of amphetamines, which stimulants.
It can make you happy, suppress your appetite, reduce fatigue, increase your attention span, misuse to treat narcolepsy, depression, and ADHD. What magical substance does all this? Adderall. Over 25 million people worldwide use amphetamine, which is the active ingredient in Adderall. Amphetamine has been around since the 1800s and has a pretty history. First synthesized in 1880. Today, amphetamine is used in low doses primarily to treat what? Oh, right. Used to treat ADHD. The majority of ADHD drugs stimulate the central nervous system. You'd think it wouldn't make sense to treat hyperactivity and lack of focus by adding stimulation, but we'll let neuroscience expert Dr. Ryan Davidson explain.
People with ADHD tend to have lower levels of dopamine, a key chemical in the brain of adolescents. This lack of dopamine means people with ADHD are constantly seeking stimulation. Amphetamines stimulate the release of dopamine and other neurotransmitters in the brain, so those minor distractions don't cause it.
Nerve cells and neurotransmitters act like they're at a middle school dance. Neurotransmitters like dopamine are on one side of the gym and receptor cells sit on the other. Amphetamine starts the party by pushing dopamine out to the dance floor, bringing them partner up with the receptors. Amphetamine also keeps dopamine on the dance floor, leaving more for the receptors to catch. So before we go, here's Dr. Davidson with another fun fact that shows why little tweaks in structure can make for big changes.
Here's what a molecule of amphetamine looks like. This little guy is a group of carbon and 3 hydrogen atoms, also called a methyl group. If you add one more methyl group onto the end of an amphetamine,
And so on the right you can see it's a picture of the brain, and I was just saying how Adderall increases brain activity by, it takes the dopaminergic cells in the brain and it pushes dopamine to receptors, and it causes more production of dopamine. And when it does this, it intensifies the pathways that signal for motor function, alertness, and concentration. And how it does, because it does this, it allows people with ADHD to be able to focus more. It allows people with narcolepsy to be able to stay more alert and awake. It allows people who have Parkinson's to have more control of their body because their sensor signals are more intensified. It allows them to have more control of themselves. The problem with the, things like Adderall, however, though, is because the surplus of dopamine in the body, for whatever reason, after about a day or two of the surplus, either negative feedback or whatever the reason is, it causes a dip and it causes a deficiency of dopamine production in the body, which usually lasts for about a week afterwards. The problem with this is it creates a deficiency and a dependency on the drug for people that take it regularly, and it makes it like nicotine and cigarettes harder and harder to get off of. Now, to test this study for relationships between people who have trouble focusing, like people with ADHD, they took 20 students in a school in Ohio and that were known to have ADHD, and throughout the week, starting on Monday, they gave them 10 milligrams of dopamine, and by the end of the week on Friday, they gave them 30, and increasing the concentration of dopamine, Adderall, that they gave to their that they allowed them to take. They wanted to see if it had any effect with how they performed in school, and they had the teachers rate them on their performance and their ability to maintain themselves in class and behave. And what they found is, through the lower dosage of Adderall in the blood, that the students were able to perform better, but by about lunchtime they had dipped off. Then later in the week, with the higher dosages, they managed to perform well throughout the day, much longer, and so they believed that this was proving a correlation between people who had ADHD being able to focus better off of Adderall.
This slide shows how Adderall can be used as treatment for Parkinson's and narcolepsy. So in Parkinson's,